Okay, everybody, in today's lesson, I wanted to go over these diagrams that I made where I'm trying to show you how to think in numbers and also to see them in colors. So I've got open G tuning here, GBD, GBD tuning here. Over on this one to the right, I've got open D tuning, DAD, F sharp AD. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm using the same colors for the intervals of the scale. So for example, an open G tuning, right, GBD, GBD tuning. We've got the root note is green. Our second of our scale is orange. The third is, what is that, like blue? And then we've got brown for the fourth. The fifth is red. The sixth is yellow. And the major seventh is purple. So the same thing in open D tuning, root, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So let's check out the similarities between these tunings as well. Okay, so open G tuning, we've got GBD, GBD, right? Root, third, fifth, root, third, fifth. Okay, in open D tuning, we've got root, fifth, root, third, fifth, root. Okay, now how are these two tunings similar? And sorry about my dog there. She's barking in the background. But okay, so if you look at this, let's look at open G tuning in the top string, fifth, third, root, fifth. Okay, if we look here at our second string down to our fifth string in open D tuning, we've got that same interval relationship, fifth, third, root, fifth. Okay, so whatever you learn in open G tuning, let's focus on this first, basically these first four strings, let's say. Okay, notice how fifth to sixth, we've got a whole step there. There's a fret in between. Sixth to seventh, whole step. Seventh to root, half step, etc. Same thing with the on our third, or our beat, let's say our second string, right, starts on the third of our scale. We've got a half step from 3 to 4, a whole step from 4 to 5, and a whole step from 5 to 6. Whole step, half step, all that means is a whole step, you have a fret in between, right? Half step, there is no fret in between. It's kind of a fancy way of saying that. Okay, so you've got that same interval relationship in open D tuning. It's just the difference is, let's say from open, right, our open strings, here we're in the key of G, here we're in the key of D, but the spacing of the intervals of the notes are the same when you think of it going up a string, right? And so you can start memorizing that, and all you got to do when you start shifting to different tunings is you say, okay, well, where's the interval relationship? How is that similar to a tuning that I already know? So if you already know G tuning, you play dobro, all you got to do is take strings 1, 2, 3, and 4. Take all those shapes, right? Fifth, third, root, fifth. Let me say it again. Fifth, third, root, fifth. And we see how that fits in open D tuning. Starts on the second string. Fifth, third, root, fifth. See the similarities there? Notice the colors. Don't think about this first string. Think about moving your first, second, third, and fourth strings and moving that down a string to second, third, fourth, and fifth strings. Fifth, third, root, fifth. Fifth, third, root, fifth. So these diagrams, they're going to be available on my new streaming site, lwtstreaming.com, and they're high-quality PDFs that you can save or print out. And I wanted to give both tunings in the same lesson, right? The open G and open D, so you can see these similarities. You can start thinking in numbers and colors. And I'm going to try to keep those colors the same, as I do these, if I do more of these, right? But this is how I think now. I think in numbers, and it really helps me to go in and out of different tunings and learn songs by ear and move in and out of different keys. And I just think how these shapes work. So if we dive in a little bit deeper into this and say you want to make up your own shapes of scale shapes or whatnot, say the major scale. Let's focus on G tuning right now. Say we wanted to go root and we want to go down the scale. Well, what you do, no matter where you're at, you could go maybe root, 7th, 6th, 5th, right? If you wanted to do that in a different position, just go do the same thing. Root, 7, 6, 5th. There's a version. Or root, 7th, 6th, 5th. Or maybe you wanted to go up the scale. Root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Well, you can do that. Just find that in a different area. Root, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I hope you see kind of what I'm talking about. Maybe root, 7th, 6th, 5th. And you can keep going down. 4th, 3rd, or 4th down here. Just whatever kind of works for you. Or just take it real slow, very slow, and think, okay, well, the major 7th to the root relationship, that's a half step. If I wanted a bluesy version of that, I would flat the 7th, and then that would make it a whole step, 7th to root. Okay, well, root, 2nd, major 3rd, notice how that's a whole step to a whole step. Well, if we wanted a minor kind of sound, we would flat the 3rd, put the 3rd a half step back. That'd be root, 2nd, a half step to that flatted 3rd. Well, let's say we wanted to maybe play a minor scale, right? Well, a minor scale has a flatted 3rd. It has a flatted 6th, let's say a natural minor scale, and it has a flatted 7th. So say we wanted to play in G minor, we think to ourselves, okay, well, let me flat the 6th, let me flat the 7th, and let me flat the 3rd. Anywhere where I have those intervals, I would flat those, and that would give me that sound of that G minor sound, flatted 6th, flatted 7th, flatted 3rd. Same thing in open D tuning. You just think in numbers and you do the same alterations to your scale. So I pulled up some of my other charts that are going to come with this lesson, and these are the minor pentatonic charts with the color-coded intervals. So I have G minor pentatonic for open G tuning and D minor pentatonic over here for open D tuning. Now, a lot of times when I'm playing, I use a major scale, and you can alter it to make whatever you want as far as, if you know that scale and the intervals. And then just knowing where the minor pentatonic notes are for blues and things like that. Those two scales and those two charts, I think you can really get a lot of use out of them. So if you look at the G minor pentatonic scale, what we've got here is let's go to the 3rd string where we've got the root, and you can check out how this scale's made up. Penta meaning 5, it's a 5-note scale. You got your root, you go up here for your flatted 3rd versus, 4th fret would be major 3rd, but we flat our 3rd. We've got a 4th, a 5th, we've got a flat 7 in this scale, and then a root. So root, flatted 3rd, 4th, 5th, flat 7, root. And this is just a chart, where those are all over the place, all over the neck. And notice how I've got, also I didn't mention this before, but this is 0 to 12 and then 12 to 24. And as you notice, 12 to 24 is just like 0 to 12. It's just an octave up, right? So what's on your 3rd fret? I always think 12 plus 3, 12 frets up, right, is 15th fret. Same thing. 12 plus 5 is 17th fret. 12 plus 0 is 12th fret. So that's a good way of thinking, 12 frets up, 1 octave up. Same thing in open D, but our intervals are going to be different. Notice how our root note is on top here, which makes it real nice for blues stuff. You got your root note on top, the 5th on your 2nd string, 2 great notes when you're playing blues. But it's the same intervals: root, flat 3rd, 4th, 5th, flat 7, root. It's just because it's a different tuning, those intervals are in different places. So if you notice, in open G tuning, we've got 5th, And then we don't play that major third, because it's a flatted third in a minor pentatonic. But up a half step is your fourth, root fifth. Notice in open D tuning, that which was on our first, second, third, and fourth strings is now on our second, third, fourth, and fifth strings. So first, second, third, and fourth is now on our second, third, fourth, and fifth. If that makes sense. But you can see those intervals, how they look there. Fifth, fourth, root, fifth. Over here, fifth, fourth, root, fifth. Cool? Yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of how these look. But the more important thing is you just getting all this stuff memorized and start thinking in numbers. And hopefully, these charts with the different, let's do the G major tuning. Get back to our major tuning, signing off here. These charts with the different numbers, at different colors, for the different intervals or numbers of the scale will really make them jump out to you. And you can see the similarities too between open G tuning and open D tuning. So just take whatever's on strings 1 through 4, put it on strings 2 through 5 in open D. Keep in mind that that's going to change the key. If it's in open G, let's say, and you do that, and you do the exact same notes, but do them on strings 2 through 5, that's going to put it in the key of D in open D tuning. But that's a real simple way of just moving all the shapes and stuff that in open G over to open D. Okay, guys, check out the site and download these printable PDFs, and hopefully this will help you. We'll see you on the next lesson. Thanks, everybody.